Maybe I should wear a suit and a tie. Maybe I need to wear something more professional than a t-shirt. See who all comes. I always get a good reception on these lives, so we can talk to everybody about what happened today in court. It was a harrowing day, our 30-day hearing, the adjudication. And that's why I've gone live, so we'll see who all comes in and says hello. I've just been up for 30 seconds, 40 seconds now. And we'll give people time to come in. Let's see. Back scratcher. Hello, everybody. I'll wait for people to come in here so they can ask some questions about our topic today, which was what we did in court. Today was our 30-day adjudication hearing in court, and I'm going to wait till people come in and start asking questions and start answering questions about what happened to us. So it looks like one person has shuffled in here so far. Hello, welcome. Now there's 3. They come quickly. I think I can see it if you text. Hey, Esther, thank you so much for coming in. That was a nice prayer that you sent our way earlier, and I really appreciate it very much. Thank you. That was kind. How's everybody doing today? So, Esther, the topic of conversation today is we had court, and the matter was adjudicated. All of the removal orders and the protective order against my son were dismissed. They were dismissed by a judge that had a hard time doing it because there was so much resources amassed against me. And this is a public case now. Our case is a high-profile case, is what I've been told. My lawyer goes into the courthouse and they show him my videos. And, they're poking fun, but thank you, appreciate that. Taylot or Dorinda, which you prefer me call you. Thank you for coming in and your support. Everybody needs to know what's happening in this corner of America because it impacts you and your family. I'm not just fighting for my family here. I'm fighting for all of your families. Government overreach and tyranny ripped my baby away from its mother. That's insane. Because of hearsay allegations against me, like somebody paid somebody to go talk bad about me, and that's enough? That's somehow enough to take out an affidavit and rubber stamp an order to take a breastfeeding infant away from its mother? Like, how far have we come in this society that we are heartless? That baby's life was endangered for 5 days. Without breast milk, without its mother. A 1-month baby needs its mother every minute. Like, hello, welcome to the stream. And I want you guys to ask questions. Esther, anybody. I don't want to just monologue, but I came online to talk to you guys openly and talk to you about what's going on in our case, in our life. Because this is something that touches all Americans, not just people who have families and people who want to have families, and especially fathers. I mean, like mothers too, but as a father, it's my job to protect my family. It's my job to defend my family. And I always thought that it was going to be from bad people. I didn't think it was going to be from the government. I didn't think I had to defend my family from DSS. And they've weaponized against me. What's interesting is they appealed their case before the case was adjudicated today. They sent us the appeal before the case was up. So they're committed to this fight. They're not giving up. Once they have their claws on you, once they believe that, something is wrong with you, they don't relent. They don't stop. They're not going to go away all of a sudden because you proved them wrong in court and you have the evidence and you did everything right. And I'm putting out the videos of the baby and the family and showing that, hey, we have our problems just like everybody else, but we have a healthy, happy home. We have a functional home. Everybody's well provided for. You know, we have chicks. You know, we have little chicks that they're all hiding out in here. Check this out, guys. They like it in there. So. We have chickens outside and ducks, you know. And hey, why don't I take you guys out there and show you? You guys want to see? Want to see the backyard? I mean, here's the thing: the home conditions matter, right? Like where the child lives matters, right? And we got a great house. You know, it does matter where they live. Like they have a great home. You know, like we have this patio. It has a hot tub. It has barbecue. It has little dry bar, wet bar. We have a chicken coop over there. You see, that's a chicken run right there. And it ends in the coop that's beside the house on that side. So we got 4 structures on this land. It's pretty nice. We got, check this out, a greenhouse. I built that myself. The concrete pad underneath is level, 18 by 14 concrete pad. That was hard to build in the winter. They are demons. Some of these guys, they don't care about the law, you know. When they're willing to snatch a 1-month breastfeeding baby away from its mother on just hearsay allegations from an ex or somebody who has an axe to grind, like somebody who doesn't like you can call CPS on you and destroy your family. Wow. If they have a little bit of like, you know, something on you, they can point them in this direction, that direction. All of a sudden, investigations are opened, and they won't relent. And if you're the kind of person who stands up for your rights, like, listen, I know how police treat me. I know that when they come over here, and as soon as I'm the guy who opens the door, I'm not a little guy. As soon as I'm the guy who opens the door, that woman's gonna get intimidated and put me in cuffs and sit me down while they inspect my baby. I know how this goes. I'm at my house. They want to invite me outside so they can put me in cuffs. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not coming outside. Is that Kratos? You know, Kratos is an ancestor of mine, actually. I've never been on parole in my life. I've never been in trouble. I don't have a criminal record or history at all. And it's interesting that this can happen to someone who doesn't have a criminal. I'm an American citizen who served honorably in the Navy. I live in my hometown, in Loudoun County, in my hometown. I bought property. This is my house. This is my land. And they were nabbing my kids. They came here with guns and badges and an order, as lawless as it was, to rip my babies away based on hearsay allegations. And every American should care about this because this can happen to you. If you think it can't, it happened to me and I don't have a criminal record. I don't. I've defeated every allegation ever brought against me. Allegations are just allegations. People can allege whatever. This is a country of laws. It has to be proven to be true. People can walk around saying bullshit all day. Never been on probation, never been on parole, buddy. I don't know what. Are you a troll or what's going on? My 2-year legal battle was hell. DCF removed my 2 children. It was hearsay with my husband. You know, if you don't have a lawyer, a good one representing you in court, you're not procedurally prepared. And they will take your children from you. I'm gonna have to kick this guy out. He's just a troll. I'm sorry. Go troll somebody else. Have a nice life. So I'm trying to have a serious conversation with Americans to educate them and arm them with the truth.
Hey, Daddy.
Hey, here's the beautiful girl. Look at these beautiful ladies. That's my strawberry. Just show them how beautiful this girl is. Oh my goodness.
She just ate.
This is what they wanted to take her. They took her from us for 5 days. This is who they took from us for 5 days. Yes. For 5 days, they took my little girl away from her mother, who's completely innocent. Completely innocent. The ex has a bone to pick with me. Fine. We'll have it out in court. Bring your evidence.
At least this was outside.
But what does Emily have to do with any of this? What has Emily done? I mean, she's a great mother. She's a great caretaker. And they're coming after her now. They're coming after her now. And they're coming after her thinking that I won't stand up for her. And they're wrong. They're wrong. I'm going to stand up for the mother of my child and my child. Now, they'll find out. I'm so tired of the government overreach and tyrant police. It needs to... Thank you, Mandy. I appreciate you following our story and understanding that's exactly what it is. The government doesn't have more right to our children than us. And thank you, Esther. I appreciate that.
Today in court,
Amy, hey.
They didn't know what to do with themselves. They were trying to come up with anything and everything to try to get the kids from us. Like they were throwing out some things that we were like laughing about.
They expended so many resources today to come at us. And they put on, honestly, a case that was scary. Like, we came out while the judge deliberated. There was no evidence of any abuse against the children whatsoever. And we were scared they were going to take the kids away.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going to happen.
We were scared. Even though we had the kids back, there was no emergency. It was proven in court. This has become a public case, a high-profile case, and nobody wants to admit fault. You know, like...
Yeah, they're bored.
Because they have nothing... That's the kicker of it, Mandy. There's actual cases out there of neglect and abuse. There's actual children out there that are suffering in poor conditions in homes that are like dirty and squalor and not eating right. And they're not going to go help them. But they want to come and rip this baby away from its mother based on their profile of me. Like, they created a profile. I'm a bad man. So they got to take the baby away from the mother. What? How psycho has this country become? Like... Seriously, we're going to spend all these resources to take a baby away from its mother because of you think the dad's a bad man? Well, listen, I believe that in order to be a good man, you have to be a dangerous man. I don't think that you're peaceful unless you're capable of war. I believe that. I'm a peaceful person. And that's because I'm dangerous.
They just don't like him because he's outspoken.
But here's the thing. I'm dangerous in the protection of my family. I'm not out here to... I'm here to fight for your family too. I promise you I'm here to fight for your family too, because this isn't just about our family. This is about everybody's family. And whether you have a family, you want to have a family, or you want to have liberty, you want to have freedom in this country without having data collected on you and then weaponized unconstitutionally, without any care of civil rights or the Constitution. Listen, I mean, like, what have we become as a country? Like, I believe in the Constitution, I believe in freedom, I believe in liberty, and I believe that every family has more of a right to their children than anybody else. And this whole child trafficking needs to stop. You know, I don't want my tax dollars going to fund, you know, people's families being ripped apart.
Roxana.
People's families being destroyed. I don't want my tax dollars going to fund that. Thank you so much, Amy. Yes, she is, Gloria. Thank you so much, guys. And this is what I fight for, you know, not just my family, but yours too. Believe me, I'm going up against the behemoth.
Yeah, she does.
I'm going up against the government. I mean, I can't do it without you guys. Believe me, I'm just a little guy over here. I'm an engineer. You know, I have a little house. We live a little life. I never expected to be fighting the county. And then the state. DSS is statewide. And CPS is countrywide. And you know, they got versions of CPS that destroy families all over Europe too. Like all Western society. How come the government has more right to teach our children values than we do? How come the government has more right to teach our children principles? Like, that's our domain. You know, they want to take our kids away because, oh, he doesn't fall in line. He's outspoken. He's too masculine. He's too this. He's too that. So we got to take his kids away from him. Hey, this can happen to any of you guys. You know? You guys got to care about it. You guys really got to care because this can happen. You think it can't. Like, you're sitting there thinking, no, it happened to you, buddy. It can't happen to me. Just wait until somebody who doesn't like you has an axe to grind, weaponizes law enforcement, weaponizes CPS, weaponizes DSS. DSS is the real monster. You guys think CPS is. It's DSS, Department of Social Services. Department of Family Services, CPS, DCSC, they all fall underneath the social services umbrella. And those guys are collecting all your data. All of it. All of it. And they can weaponize it from you whenever they want. Whenever they choose.
This is a good man, guys. This is a good man.
If you guys love America, if you love your family, you will be aghast at what's happened to this child and this woman. All right? Doesn't matter how you feel about me. I get it. We're men. Men don't have sympathy in this world. I get it. But what did she do? What did this baby do? Like, they're innocent. It's not right. You know, savage barbarians in the wild wouldn't come and rip a breastfeeding infant from its mother. What country are you in, Woody? I love my country too, but we all have problems, you know. And, you know, thank God we prevailed in court. We prevailed in court because, and the judge had a hard time dismissing everything, and he made it clear too.
He's asking who I am and who's the baby.
She's a mother who had the child ripped away from her arms because of hearsay allegations against me, without any due process of law, without emergency, without any cause. Scotland. Oh, okay. We're in America, and we're American, so we're mixed. I'm Persian, and
I'm a mutt. I have no
think
idea.
she's a European like mix.
Yes, Luke.
So the whole case is dismissed. They already appealed it before it was even adjudicated completely. Like, they appealed it after the 5-day emergency meeting. Like, they are committed. They brought 4 lawyers against us, 5 lawyers against us today. They brought her 10-year-old daughter's father, who hasn't been in his daughter's life since she was 4.
He says I'm Scott Irish for sure.
Oh yeah.
I got the spiciness
I mean, red
for it too.
Red hair exists in a lot of countries, actually. It's not just Irish, but there's a lot of them.
No, but I think my spiciness goes along with that too.
I mean, it could be German, it could be even Persian, and Persian's got redheads too. So, but this one over here is a little blue-eyed redhead too. I don't know if you can see, but
oh, she's so heavy. And for the person who asked about the older girl, yes, we do have her back, and she's up in her room.
More orange to be Scottish. It's all beautiful to me, Luke. It's all beautiful to me. And the shape of her eyes are incredible. Like, if you look at the shape of her eyes, wow. Like, it's stunning. It's really stunning.
You're gonna have to hold her up more.
And you got to see more of the videos that we have for her. Oh my goodness, Mom, I got her.
Okay.
I got her.
You're stronger
my
than I am.
goodness.
She's getting heavy.
She's amazing. She's amazing. She's the star of the show. She's the reason Daddy's so protective. This is the reason Daddy fights so hard. No one's gonna take you from your mom, you little one. Mama, there's lots of mosquitoes out here.
Here, let's go inside then. Here, I'll grab the camera.
I don't want the baby to be bit by these.
I'll walk with you. No.
You know what's good to keep the mosquitoes off? Opening up the hot tub.
Yeah.
Show them the hot tub. Look. These kids have it good. Like, these kids have a great life. I tell you what. Like, these kids have a wonderful, wonderful life. You know, they want to take these children away from this. It's insane. You know, there's children out there suffering. There's children out there who are in real situations of neglect and abuse.
I'm not going now. You're right about the mosquitoes.
And, you know, all of the orders and everything, all of the charges were dismissed against me, but I'm still having a hard time talking to my son.
Good Lord, the things they said about that.
You know, my ex is really harming that boy, is what's happening. Like, when you do this to the boy's father, you're actually harming that boy. When you deny that boy opportunity to be with his father, when you're consistently denying him access, and from Father's Day to my birthday to regular scheduled visitation, she denies it. Completely denies it. Just sends me email, and I'm not even allowed to go on her property. You know, the system favors her. I get it. The system favors a woman. I've lived with that my whole life. I don't have any qualms about it. I'm not crying about it. But that boy needs his dad. And her trying to replace his dad is not going to work for him, because nobody ends up being better than his dad. No man wants my boy to be better than them except for me. You know, that's my boy. Do you think some other man wants my son to be better than his sons? Be real. I mean, like, I don't care. Maybe this is Jesus we're talking about, right? Jesus didn't have any kids that I'm aware of. But you understand what I'm saying, you know? Like, I believe that families should stay together. I believe that we should be working to make strong, united families in America, and not rip them apart and traffic their kids. If we really care about American families, you know, this Katie Hendrick could have easily contacted us, asked us for video, asked us for pictures of our child. Let me read some of these. But she didn't do any of that. She didn't contact us except to come to our door with 3 police officers, one hiding in the bushes in military tactical gear, saying, "Please come out, sir." What? You don't have a warrant? You don't have an order? You don't have any reason to be here? Like, why? I know how this playbook goes. You're going to come over. You're going to be like, "Hey, you scare me. Let me put cuffs on you so I can touch your baby."
Yes, Miss Rosanna. Yeah. Miss Roxana. She's such a happy good baby.
I know. It's so beautiful, Mama. It's like a prayer. Seeing her happy and seeing you playing with her, it's a divine experience for me. I recommend everybody has babies. I recommend everybody has babies and protects them as zealously as I do. You know what I mean? Because nothing is more important in life. Nothing is more important in life than our families. You know, when all is said and done, when you're an old person, right? Old and decrepit, wrinkly, and nobody loves you anymore except for your family. Your family. The people you created and nurtured and loved and brought up. Nothing will bring you more joy in your life, in your old age, than your family, your children. Nothing. Oh. Do you even know what we're talking about here? I mean, we're talking about family. We're talking about how the government can rip your family apart.
Ooh.
Thank you, Esther. Truth matters. I appreciate your quote. And I appreciate you, Truth Matters. Truth Matters says, Ephesians 6:12, "For we wrestle not again flesh and blood, but again against principles, against power, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." Amy says, "My ex abandoned our son, who is 18, after having custody for years and taking me to court like 5 times." Amy, they're relentless. They're relentless. And what you need to do is have a good lawyer. I mean, I'm suffering through it too, Amy. Like, I have an ex who is relentless about not wanting to cooperate in his best interest. That boy loves his dad. I mean, I didn't know what to bring to court with me. I brought an envelope full of the
Arts and crafts.
the arts and crafts that he's made for me, and I put on my refrigerator. You know, like, that's and the judge read it. Like, the judge read how much he loves his dad. They favored my ex because he was a cop. Gloria, like, there's so many stories out here of people being hijacked on hearsay. Like, it's terrible. I'm so sorry for you. Without evidence, without a good lawyer, like you can get taken advantage of by the system. So what happens to the ex after all this? So I don't make false threats, and I don't do it lightly either. But everybody will be held to account because my name has to be cleared. The bottom line is, I argue that um, there has to be my name has to be cleared. There has to be a legal reckoning, and I have to have DSS stop these frivolous and retaliatory actions of trying to take our children away from us. You know, we're good. We don't need our children taken from us. Like, we live a healthy, happy life, and
there's no drugs.
there's no drugs here. We're
not drinkers.
We don't drink alcohol. Like, what the hell? Like, this, you go on streams and you'll see kids next to, parents that are drinking and doing drugs and all this. And here we are. I'm an engineer. She's a homemaker. And we're trying to make a beautiful life together. And hearsay allegations are not just ripping us apart, but they're incentivizing Emily to try and leave me, right?
They've tried everything. They have tried offer me my own place. They have offered, to pay for everything. They say, oh, he's on a different mission than you. They have tried to manipulate. And
I'm trying to answer everybody too, because so many people are asking questions here. Maggie, Mustafa, Amir, everybody, SV. I was hoping you and your family would be on vacation forever, just to avoid CPS at all costs. My wife also is like, get me a passport. I want to move to Canada, where your family is, your dad's family is, and that's not the answer. I mean, really, it's not. Being on the lam and running from the U.S. government because they want to talk to you about your kid. This is a relentless machine. It's a cruel, cold, and relentless. Now that they have opened an investigation, they will never stop until I sue them in federal court.
They're hell bent on trying.
They're never going to stop. It's never going to end. Even after we win and they appeal it and we win again, it's still not going to end. My son and daughter-in-law had some issues. DCF got involved, and my wife and I took sons, children, grandchildren, our home time. DCF tried to treat my wife and I like her. They do treat you like criminals, and they try to rip your family apart. I mean, like, life is hard enough, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got financial problems. We got all kinds of problems between my wife and I. Like Hank Williams said, me and the missus have a license to fight. As long as it's not abusive and, like, physical.
One time it gets physical is when it gets kinky.
she likes she likes that. Isaiah. So Truth Matters is quoting the Bible. Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you.
I almost accidentally said something like that today in court, but I didn't want to open.
I'm not done, Mama. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's a beautiful quote, Truth Matters. God bless you, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. My neighbors do all that stuff every single day with their kids. So annoying. People who don't like you can weaponize systems against you. And that's the crazy part, right? Like, no evidence, just people who don't like you coming and talking against you with, like, some Mickey Mouse evidence that they've gotten, and they can now insert it because there's an investigation that's open into you. Because they've made a profile. You're a dangerous man. You're a dangerous man, and you shouldn't have kids. That's the reasoning. The reasoning is that you should not have any children. It's crazy. DCF shows up with a police officer like they were caring for. Yeah, no, don't ever open your door, okay? I'm telling you, when the police show up to your door, don't open it. I mean, you better have a Ring doorbell camera or something installed, or get it. It's the best investment you'll make, all right? You need to have a Ring doorbell camera because When law enforcement shows up at my door, I know that if I open that door, I'm going to get put in cuffs. They want me to answer their questions civilly when they have me detained in cuffs in front of my house. That's how they do it. Yeah, like if I open that door, immediately they get intimidated. I don't have a weapon, but I look like a weapon to them because they're scrawny. I don't know. CPS loves to make the mom leave the dad. It makes the woman vulnerable. Once that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get Emily on her own so they can take advantage of her and take her children away. Like, this is a sick system. You want to get this woman vulnerable? I mean, they promise her the world to leave me, and I'm her only I'm her armor. I'm her protection. I'm the protection of that child, and they're trying to separate us. This is a tactical move on their part. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund family destruction in America. Congratulations, everybody. Well spent money, huh? Functional families in America are being destroyed. And we're not raising an alarm about it. Like, I think we need to share this story far and wide. This is a real example of government overreach and tyranny that impacts what matters to most to us, our family. And people don't believe it, right? Like Title IV and all of these other entitlements that created CPS and DSS, they're the problems. And they're being protected by powerful people. And we need to defund them. We need to bring them into the light and expose them for the demons that they are and how they do business. Because they're trying to rip a healthy, functional American family into shreds, pound us into the dirt. And I'm not going to let them. I'm not going to let them do it to Emily, and I'm not going to let them do it to your family either. Because, I'm an instrument of God in all of this. I have, most fathers, they beg and they plead with CPS to be able to be with their children. I can hear their cries in my head right now. The GoFundMe page that we opened up is filled full of the prayers, hopes, fears, and tears of so many that have been harmed by this evil, demonic cabal that thinks it's doing good. And, they bring on a strong case. Like, that judge had a hard time ruling in my favor. It was by no means a slam dunk. You can basically never be together again, and it's considered abuse. Agree, family is everything. It is, truth matters. They tried to get me to leave my husband as well. Young man, you put the full armor of God on and march forward. Thank you, Esther. I'm God's paladin. And I will fight for your family too, not just mine. You're going to have to look back, man. The allegations were all hearsay. You're going to have to look in all my videos on my channel. Please, everybody, if you can, subscribe to my channel and follow our story and shine a light on the injustice happening here in Loudoun County, because it could happen in your county too. I'm a law-abiding American citizen living in my hometown of Sterling in Virginia. And I've gone public because there's safety in the light. They can't come after me and prosecute me as egregiously as they would like to. They would like to take my babies right now, if they could. If they could, they would come to my door right now and take it. They already did that once. We got our babies back after the 5-day hearing. Most families are not that lucky.
They didn't even know how to do the paperwork because they didn't have the checkoff box.
They didn't have a dismissed box on the removal order. Mama, she needs a napkin. She's vomiting. Let me see. There's more writing for us. No, you don't look like a weapon, Jimmy. Maybe it doesn't matter, but just trying to understand. I mean, I want you to understand. I think that it's important. That's the reason that we're even doing this, is because I want to educate people on what's happening to our families so they can be armed with the truth and be ready when their doorbell rings. This can happen to any of you. I'm not a criminal. I am a law-abiding American citizen who pays his taxes on time. I have a legitimate job as an engineer. I have business that I own. I have properties that I own. I'm trying to build a life. I don't do drugs or alcohol. There's no charges against me. There's no charges pending against me. There was no finding of abuse. Still, every action that was brought against me by my exes have all been dismissed. Every PO, everything has been dismissed. Every removal order, every false charge has been dismissed or null processed. This is a country of laws. Allegations do not create evidence of a crime. In order to be guilty, you have to be found guilty. And I haven't. Look at my record. I don't have a record. The last charge I have on my record is in 2001. It's a DUI. That's a long ass time ago.
The last time I almost got charged, I was 18 and I was underage drinking.
He said it, the taxes from England. Sorry, I'm new. What happened? A lot has happened. Breastfeeding infant was ripped away from its mother based on hearsay allegations.
About a month ago.
Yeah, on the father. The pigs need to justify their pathetic existence and fragile egos. Ain't that the truth? I have been saying the funding needs to be stopped. CPS funding needs to be stopped, for sure. And what they're doing is they're ripping apart functional American families and not going after real cases of neglect and abuse. They are expending so much taxpayer resources coming after a home that's happy and functional based on hearsay allegations that stem from a bitter ex who I'm in custody court with right now. Right now. She's willing to sacrifice her son on the altar of her vanity, on the altar of her need for control. My son screams for me, like he loves his father. I adore my son. My job is to protect him.
Every single time it's time for mom to pick him up, he's always like, "Oh."
He doesn't want to go. He wants to stay.
He's like, "Can't we?"
And nobody listens to him.
Like,
Nobody,
can't I stay a little
especially
bit
his
longer?
mom. Especially his mom.
There was a time that we took him to the playground and she came, what was it, like 5 minutes early? And she would not even let him play on the playground. Just like a couple minutes.
She let him
more.
cry. He was begging, can I just play for 5 minutes at the playground? We had just gotten there. We were so busy all day. I get barely any time with him, and we got to get everything done in such a small amount of time, get him fed. And we just got to the park like 5 minutes before our visitation was going to end, and she showed up early.
She was already there.
And she just ushered him into the car while he was screaming and begging to stay. This is the same woman that had me arrested in front of my son over false allegations that were null processed. She has weaponized agency of government, therapist, government. I mean, this is reality. You can be defamed by someone who has connections and is charismatic. And my ex is very charismatic. If there's one thing that she is super charismatic. She's a pretty blue-eyed, strawberry blonde, and looks innocent. Looks like when you look at me, I look like a villain, but I'm innocent. And she looks innocent, but she is got a heart as black as coal. Like, not innocent. Promise you not innocent. And I don't want to go into what she does for a living because that's a whole different can of worms. It says, so Gloria said, David Doro CPS took their daughter. Go back and watch the videos before. Yep. Go back and watch the videos, please. Everybody watch our videos and share our story. Amy, if they took away all the funding, nobody would be taking kids anymore. It's not from the goodness of their hearts. The foster network is super profitable. It's they say 3.3 million per kid, and the caseworker gets a bonus for every kid they put into the system. This is a child trafficking network into foster hell. 83% of foster children, 83, report physical or sexual abuse. These children should be with their parents.
Or lost and unknown.
These children should be with their parents. This is a sickness in America and needs to be put to a stop. These DSS workers walk around like they are holier than thou and they are better than you at parenting your kids. And they will use all of their good lawyers to come after you, good families, and rip you apart. I am your voice. I am standing in between them and you. Believe me, like, regardless of how you feel about me, I am honestly on the front line fighting for your family. They are intimidated by you because you know the truth and you know your constitution. They're intimidated by me because of that. Also, I'm not falling in line. They don't like masculine men. They like men that they can control. Believe me, they like men that are compliant and very controllable. I'm not. I represent a big problem, and that's what intimidates them. The combination of what you said, Esther, plus the fact they miscalculated. Yes, please, everybody, go back and watch. Do you understand what's going on with this family? And that was wrong. We've proven them wrong in court. You know, you might look at me and be like, okay, he's this and that. And I already know, I get a vibe. We proved them in wrong. There's no criminal history or record. I don't have anything, you know.
He's a good, solid man, is what he is.
I'm a hard worker. I bust my butt.
See, she agrees.
That's the sunshine of my life right there. I do it all for her. You so much baby girl. Who's my baby? Huh? Yeah? I like your voice. I like your voice. Share this. Please share our story. Because the education is important for Americans. That's it too. They are a business that makes profit with their social workers find family. You know, I'm gonna soon put up a podcast, and I've been laying the groundwork for it and working with a number of different groups, National Families Associations, and other family rights advocacy groups, and I'm standing up a podcast called Family Matters Podcast, and we're going to discuss everything that has to do with the family and how to make a stronger American family, but especially how government overreach and tyranny can really destroy your family. And there's so many examples, and I'm going to have guests of people that have been trafficked in this system, girls that have been exploited, every child that's been exploited physically, emotionally, sexually. And the foster parents themselves, the real parents, the biological ones, their grandparents. This affects the whole family. When you rip a child away from its family, you're not just impacting the immediate parents. It's their grandparents, their uncles, aunts, everybody. They feel that emptiness. And why aren't the kids going to the first of kin? Why aren't children going to the first of kin? I don't understand. Like, why are we trafficking these children into foster parents who are making money off of them and using them for labor? If you don't think these grown people who have gone through the foster training system have a PhD in child manipulation, if you trust their good intentions, you're very gullible. You're very gullible. It took years to get my children back. I'm so glad you got them back. And you see, that's a story that needs to be told, Dorinda. We got our kids back after 5-day mark, and I have them on their back heels. I need everybody's support to be able to do this because I can't do it alone. I can't go up against the government and DSS. They're corrupt and we've proven it. But I need everybody's backing for real. Because I cannot do this on my own. I really cannot. I'm asking everybody who knows about our story to stand up for your own family. Because that's what I'm doing now. It's not just about my family anymore. It's about a corrupt system that traffics American children and rips healthy American families apart while neglecting to investigate real cases of abuse. They just pass it by. And they go after healthy families based on hearsay. Like, this is an arm of oppression. Like, it's crazy. Oh, goodness.
Oh, no. She don't like that.
Oh, what's going on, pretty girl?
She's like, I'm talking and nobody's paying attention to me.
What's going on? Oh, beautiful girl. Say hi, everybody. Look, I'm the star of the show. Oh, no. Oh, 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 oh. Hi, beautiful girl. Can I get a smile? Can you show everybody that you smile for Daddy? Can you show everybody you love Daddy so much?
Look at the chunky belly.
They got the belly boops. Can I get some belly boops? You know? Huh? Say hi, everybody. Hello, I'm the most beautiful girl in the world. Yeah. Say, I'm the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world. And I want to sit next to my daddy while he talks, so I'm just going to sit right here.
Well, then you do that, and I'll fix you some food.
And I'm going to talk to everybody. And you're going to talk to everybody, Roshanak? Little baby Roxanne? All right. I love it when she laughs at me. I see this. I see the running video. Yeah. You know, sometimes I get worked up about this stuff, but nothing matters more to us than our family, right? Like, nothing matters more to me than this little person. Like, my God, I just got so scared today because they put on a big fight. They really tried hard to keep her in custody or to take her back into custody. And, you know, even though the judge found in our favor and dismissed everything, the evidence that he had heard, the hearsay, and all of the mounted resources they put up against him gave him pause. And he said it was a hard decision. And, you know, God bless him. God bless him for bringing our children and letting our children stay with us and not finding on just lies. And it was. I mean, the children have never once been in peril, ever. Parents have a right to have an argument. And the government can't oh, what's wrong? Are you hungry, honey? What's wrong, sweetie pie? Mama, she hungry. Let's see. I think they have quotas at CPS. I think you're right, Andrew. I think you're right.
I'm coming, Daddy.
AK, baby, blink twice if you need help.
Everything okay?
This guy said, baby, blink twice if you need help.
Well, she really blinked, so I think we're good.
Yeah, a late term abortion. Oh, no. I'm going to kick this person out.
I'm just trying to find my route.
We are definitely against abortions in this house.
Adoption is always an option.
And anybody
But
who comes in here and like talks about that kind of stuff, it's murder to me. Like,
yeah.
Like I don't.
For the moment, there's a heartbeat. That's it.
Blink if you need help. This guy keeps saying it. This is the standard of freedom, socialist democracy. Eric, it's crazy that the government is collecting data on you, and then they can take your kid away and say that you're too dangerous to have a kid. Why? I can't tell you. I have concerns. That's all they say. I have concerns. There's some concerns. So, because if I told you, then you'd know everything I did was illegal. I can't tell you, but I have some concerns. That's the way they are. I mean, that's like definitely a Marxist communist style argument without any facts or evidence. I have concerns, so I will take your child away from you. I mean, what's more important to me than my child? Why don't you take my arm instead? Like, we donate true income tax, part of why income tax and the IRS optics have been higher along with our judicial system and government agencies. Is that your wife because she's pretty? Yes. Thank you. DSS took my oldest son from me in North Carolina for no reason. I now live in Georgia and have 2 small children and no problem here. DSS thinks they are above everyone. They get paid to take kids. I'm so sorry for what you went through, Amanda. That breaks my heart. Like that story, I've heard it so many times, and it happens all across America. You know, like there was this woman that I'm working with who is from Alabama, and she was just visiting Virginia, and she took her kid to the hospital, and they took her child and didn't give her back. Like she said, well, at least give my child to DSS in Alabama so I can fight this. Nope. And she has gone through her whole life fighting for her kid now. It's crazy. Mama watching you, baby girl be ripped from you. 6 CPS is Thank you so much for that support. I'll let her know, Tracy, you said that. And that means a lot to us. Believe me. You know, your support, we can't do it without you guys' support. This is a very difficult fight to go up against. Very intimidating when, you know, a DSS worker and 3 cops, and you've never seen a DSS worker or ever talked to DSS before, but they show up with 3 cops, one in the bushes. And I know they're going to put me in cuffs if I open that door. I know. It's happened before. What's wrong, sweetie pie? Emily! Thank you, honey. She's not happy. She's hungry. Alright, hurry up, baby. I don't want her to keep like crying on stream. It's gonna make us look like bad parents. Don't do it, sweetie. Don't. She's hungry. She's hungry. No.
I can't find my wrap. And she's definitely not.
Mama, please give her some food.
She's already eaten.
Why is she not happy? And Daddy, blink twice if you need chicken nuggets.
Oh, well then I'll start blinking too. Chicken nuggets solve everything.
And Daddy. And then Tracy, A.K. And thank you, Gloria. And thank you, Tracy. And appreciate that. Gerardo, appreciate that.
Oh.
Thank you very much. That was a very raw and real moment for me. Having to hand my baby over to a big man like that really broke my heart. Every fiber and drop of blood in my body wanted to fight. And I had to suppress myself. Imagine having your baby ripped away from you like that and knowing that you have to live to get her back to her mother. Because if I would have died that day, that my baby would have never come back to her mom. They would have used that as evidence as this being an unstable home. Not that they violated my constitutional rights. Not that they came over here and ripped a baby away from its mother. But that, in fact, I was unstable and they did the right thing. And that's sickness. You know, Americans have a right to their children. I am going to be the voice of all of those families, all of those fathers that cry and suffer in silence, that beg for their kids and jump through hoops and do everything they're told and still can't see their kids. I'm going to be the voice of all those children who have been trafficked, who live in foster care, who are begging for their parents and they can never come back. Because this is a cruel machine. Once they peg you, once they say that, you know, we open an investigation on you, they're never going to relent. They're never going to admit they were wrong. They're going to keep coming after you, and they're going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. Even if you beat them in JD, you go to circuit. It's interesting to me, like, in a criminal charge, they can charge you once, and if you beat them, that's it. It's double jeopardy. They can't come at you a second time constitutionally. But for your kids, they can appeal it and appeal it and appeal it and appeal it and use taxpayer dollars to do it because they're afraid of the federal lawsuit and how much they're going to be liable for. So they double down and they triple down and quadruple down and, you know, all American tax dollars. This is insane. Your tax dollars are funding trafficking and destruction of functional American homes. And someday it'll be yours. You think it's not. Just wait. This kind of stuff always comes home to roost. Like, you know, I used to believe live and let live, you know, like let whoever do whatever they want. And then I realized as an American society, those chickens will come home to roost. You know, if you don't live a life of principles and values and morals, then your children will suffer. That's just the reality of it. All right, the foster parents may be in their rings. I don't believe foster parents' good intentions. I believe they're in it for money and labor. You know, everybody's trying to say, "Oh, foster parents good." No. I don't. They have a PhD in how to manipulate children by the time they become foster parents. And they're just trying to get the paycheck and the labor. So many children I know run away from it and they hate it there. And getting all kinds of abuse. Someone gives the baby. I ate my dog. Sorry. Okay. Fat dude. For a baby, an infant, it could be a death sentence. 5 days away from its breastfeeding mother could be a death sentence. She's sleepy. Don't be lying. Don't be lying. What? All right. Um, Gloria said a lot of people run. This happens, and they don't fight back. They run. No. So here's the thing: a lot of people running. Running is the wrong thing to do. You know, when you get accused of a crime, you got to stand and fight it. You don't have a choice. If you run, they're going to assume you're guilty. You know, you can't run from court. You can't run from the government. What ends up happening is that they automatically assume that you are guilty. You have to stand and you have to mount a legal defense on your own behalf. And a lot of people, they don't want to. They're intimidated. They're scared of court. They don't like to. I don't like walking in there. I'm intimidated too. Like, believe me, like that judge is a god in his courtroom. He can do, if he can do whatever he wants. He really can. And if I open my mouth or say something, I could make things a lot worse for myself. You know, like it's important to have a good lawyer and to listen to him. Did she take a pacifier? Yeah, she does take a pacifier, Gloria. She's sleepy. Yeah, she's beautiful, baby. Thank you so much. She's loved. She loves to be eaten. Okay. I don't like where that's going. Sorry, I'm gonna have to kick you. People are so rude. I don't understand. Yeah, they are, Gloria. So I'm gonna have to kick people that are disrespectful, especially to my children. I'm not gonna tolerate that. Uh, Baby, chill, chicken nugget. Okay, so this guy's just a troll. AK is just a troll. He's at least he's not saying anything sexual or disrespectful. Take care of your baby. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate that. That means a lot to us. And we want to educate everybody on what could happen to their families. And that's why I'm doing this live. And that's why I want to bring our story out, is because it's important for Americans to arm themselves with the truth so they can be prepared when their doorbell rings. That child needs to be with mom and dad. Thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you so much. That child needs to be with mom and dad. I believe all children, their best place to be is with their mom and dad. And hopefully, you know, we can re-educate. I mean, I'm not saying all parents are perfect, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying that we can try to keep families together. Like, let's expend resources to try and unite American families and maybe retrain them. You know, maybe the dad needs some training. Maybe the mom needs some training to be better parents. Don't rip their kids away and traffic them. Like, this is not the right answer. Like, our infrastructure is built around just taking the kids and throwing them into foster care. That's the answer. Not to give them to parents or to grandparents or to uncles or first of kin. I don't know. I don't understand. Praying for your family. Thank you, Jessica. Amanda. It's been a tough battle. North Carolina wouldn't even give me a chance. Georgia was going to help me get it back, but he was already 17 at the time. At least I can see him and talk with him now. I'm sorry for what you went through. My heart goes out to you, Amanda. And your story is the story of so many Americans. It's really heartbreaking for me, and I've cried so much. As a man, it's not easy for me to cry because I'm not built that way. But the last few weeks have just left me in tears. You know, seeing my wife cry. No, Joshua, I'm not. I'm happy for you guys. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Gloria. I'm never going to stop fighting them. I got the prayers, hopes, and tears and fears and so many people that have been harmed by them behind me now. I feel obligated. You know, I'm not here to scare DSS. I'm here to change DSS. I'm here to recalibrate their mission. I'm here to bring legislative reform to DSS. I'm here to bring a legal reckoning, legal, to DSS. For all of the families that can't. For all of the fathers and mothers that cry and beg and grovel at their feet. For all of the families that they have hurt so bad and ripped apart so bad, there's no calculation to it. There's no metric for it. I feel like I'm the instrument of God in all of this. I feel like I've been chosen by God to be their voice, to be the voice of all of those families, to be the voice of all of those children that are crying for their parents and cannot go home. It's not right. And thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I hit the fresh. I'll stop saying she's sleepy. Yeah, I think she's sleepy. That's why she went upstairs. Thank goodness. Listen, I have never hit somebody and they didn't know it. You know, all these allegations, there's no evidence. You know, my ex actually dug her nails in me and used to hit me and leave marks and bruises on me. I told you, my ex is super pale. Like, if she bumped into the wall, she'd have a black mark. She doesn't have any evidence. She claims I did this and that. No evidence, just allegations. I have evidence. I took pictures of the time she punctured my arms with her nails. I took pictures of the time she scratched my face. I took pictures and video just to have them because I was hoping we'd stay together. We had a kid together. I loved her. You know, she was toxic. And now she's trying to turn that stuff around on me, but she's the one who assaulted me. Like, this is craziness, right? I'm a big man, and I have gotten into situations where I have protected my family and myself before many times. I've never hit somebody and there wasn't a mark, ever. I've never hit somebody and they didn't feel it, and there wasn't a mark, ever. That's never happened. And I don't know how people can accuse me of hitting them when there's no mark. Allegations are just allegations. And you know, anybody can allege anything. Heinous allegations against you can get your family ripped apart. Just because they're allegations. And no evidence is necessary. Hearsay. Someone said something to someone about you. And now it's in evidence. That's true, Gloria. I'm sorry, Amy. I'm sorry you went through that. Thank you so much, Miss Hafner. I appreciate that. I'm fighting for all the families out here, not just for my own. I mean that. You see, this system, Jessica, tears people apart, tears families apart. You would have been so much better off at your biological family's home. They wanted the best for you, I'm sure. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But children are best off at their biological parents' home. Period. This whole idea of ripping families apart and taking their children and giving it to somebody else, they're not better. They can just manipulate the system better. They can just manipulate people better. There's a lot of honest, straight-talking people out here that can't control their emotions as good as these foster parents. What does that tell you? How do you stop an active eviction when the process server is at your home? I don't know. You need Jesus, bro. We all need Jesus. We all need Jesus. Then the judge asked the court, how would it take me from the government for allowing me to be abused? Jessica, you know, your story is echoed by so many people. Like, there's so many children that have come out of this system, that have been harmed in this system, that have been destroyed by this system. And I've talked to them. I've connected with them on X now. In the past month, my social media has exploded because I've gone public. Totally public. I, 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 I didn't have my real name out everywhere. I was a very private person. I was living privately, and I didn't want to go public. But the things that have happened really scared me. When they go after my family, when they go after my woman and my child lawlessly, I don't have a criminal record or history. I'm a Navy vet with an honorable discharge. I'm an American citizen. I live in my hometown. I don't commit crimes. And they can do this to me? They sure as hell can do it to you. And if you think not, think again. Think long and hard. Every man and woman in America should get up and take notice of this. This is dangerous. Government overreach and tyranny. And I wish Donald Trump would see this. I wish Donald Trump would understand the pain of all of these families out here who have had their children trafficked, the pain of all these children that have been abused and used in foster homes, whose lives have been thrown away because of this system. In foster system, a child has to go to a new foster home every 6 months. That's just as bad as the kids as not having a parent at all. I agree with you. Every time okay, what's the next one? I agree with you, Esther. Miss Hafner, every time CPS worker takes a child out of the home, they get everywhere from. So I've heard that each child represents $3.3 million to the system. And over the life of them being there. And that the actual caseworker gets between $2,000 and $3,000 per child as a bonus. That's an incentive to traffic American children. Aren't you guys flabbergasted yet? Are we just going to skip over this part? Are we going to skip over the part where they get a bonus to nab your kids and traffic them? Think about it. They have that right. An affidavit stamped by a judge on hearsay. No evidence of an emergency or a crime or any kind of due process. They never talk to you. They never even fucking talk to you. They never made an effort to email you, text you, call you. They just come and take your kids. And you don't think it can happen to you? Open your eyes. Open your fucking eyes. I'm sorry for cussing, but this is emotional for me because I never expected that this could possibly happen. I never expected that they could come here and take my baby away from its mother, like on allegations against me, just allegations. Anybody can allege anything. This is not a conviction. Like, isn't this a nation of laws? You guys don't, it sounds unbelievable until it happens to you and your kin. And then you'll be one of these statistics, these people crying out like, just another voice in the darkness crying out to help. Thank you, Jessica. You're sweet. Thank you very much. And you have a beautiful heart too. And I'm sorry for how things turned out for you, but here on out, your life is in your hands. You need to educate yourself and arm yourself with the truth so you can be prepared to handle these monsters, these demons that with kindness and calmness and peaceableness are ripping families apart. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. Bombshell. NYC CPS worker blows whistle on child. It's been happening a lot, Truth Matters. I've been talking to so many people, articles in People magazine, different places, all over the country. There's a story of a girl who was sexually molested for 15 years, living on puddle water. Mind-blowing. It just came out April 29th of this year. I watched this 2 years ago. I'm going to try and send you the link. Please do, Truth Matters. Please do. Connect with me on X. Connect with me on Instagram. Same handle everywhere. On Gmail, too, is the same handle. Please connect with me. I look forward to talking to you more. I will watch. I will watch for sure. Make a boom. causing you to react and then exactly, Makbuma. That's what they want to do. I've had people say, "Why didn't you just open a door and let them in?"
No.
A CPS worker that I've never seen before, who's been collecting information on our family clandestinely, and 3 cops, one hiding in the bushes, all in tactical military gear.
Never once showed identification. If you look in the video, she never once showed identification.
She wasn't answering my questions as to why she was there, what cause she had, what was the reasoning. All she could say is, "We have concerns. We have concerns. We have concerns." Every time I asked a question, instead of her answering me, the cop would jump in and like fill in the silence. They're trained to do this. They're trained not to answer your questions because everything Kelly Hendrick did before she came to my house was illegal and a violation of my constitutional rights. And she didn't want to admit it. And that's why she wasn't answering the questions.
And the public school system aids it.
Listen, you guys can't believe in the good intentions of these people. You can't believe that if you let them in, they're just going to inspect the baby and go away. They're going to make up something and take the baby away. That's what they're there to do. They didn't come over to inspect the baby. They came over to ambush me and take the baby.
That's why there was one cop hiding in the bush and one cop out in the open and one cop holding that screen door wide open.
I wasn't
until
going to
they
let them.
realized that they were screwed. And then the cop closed the door.
Mama, can you bring me kefir?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I got an upset stomach a little bit because of this stuff. Yeah, really. For sure. Yeah, Gloria. Hey, Miss Swavel. Gloria, they paid for every child they take. That's crazy. They get a bonus for every child they traffic. How many years did you serve in the Navy? I don't talk about my service. I served honorably, and this can happen to anybody. This can happen to any American citizen. I praise God. You had a little bit of money to fight back. Without money, you're effed. You're exactly right, Tracy. You're exactly right. It's not even just about having money. You have to have the right lawyer. If you have the money, but you don't have the right lawyer, you're still fucked.
And what would you like, Daddy? Do you want the pot roast that I made, or do you want your leftovers from Longhorn?
We have leftover steaks too. But we need to eat that pot roast before it becomes hard, Mama.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I'm saying,
let's eat the pot roast.
You don't want your leftover from last night?
No, it's just the pot roast is good tonight. You made it for tonight.
So you want that?
Yeah. And okay, maybe I'll have some steak too, but the pot roast sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you, honey.
I'll look you up a plate.
Yeah, just a bowl.
A bowl, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're absolutely right, Tracy. I praise God too, and thank you. I'm sending this story to a big channel and see if they... Please, Gloria. I mean, we've won now. We've proven them wrong twice. We've done a Herculean thing here. We got our kids back and proved them wrong in court twice. And they're a machine. They're a cruel, unfeeling machine who's trying to protect itself now. Now they are just trying to protect themselves. They are in damage control mode. So, what's going to end up happening is they're going to keep coming after me until I file a federal lawsuit to make them stop. That's the only way. And then they're not going to stop until I take it to Congress and get legislation enacted to recalibrate DSS. Because they can't be doing this unlawful shit. They can't be coming after you and your family, collecting data on you and your family illegally, in contravention to the Constitution and your civil rights. And then expect to use that information to separate you from your family. This can happen to any of you, and you should care about it. I hope you do. Can you press charges on your ex for all this? I hope so. We'll see. I don't want to make promises I can't keep, but I want to hold everybody accountable. Number one. Number two, I have to clear my name. The more important part here, this should be number one, It's the stigma that the allegations leave around my name. Even if you prove in court over and over with evidence that the allegations against you are false, the stigma of those allegations remain. If you are accused of being a murderer and you're found innocent, people aren't going to leave their kids with you. If you're accused of being a child molester or a rapist and you're found innocent, too bad. No one's going to leave their kids with you. No one's going to trust you that way again. And if they do, they're stupid. And now you have no choice but to go and file a defamation lawsuit. You have no choice but to clear your name. And you have to do it lawfully. And that's the only way that I'm going to fight. She's the mother of my child. I don't wish any harm upon her. I really don't. But she's done something insane, not just to that boy, but to this mother and that baby from a different marriage, to satisfy her vanity and need for control. She's still not letting me, even though my rights to Jordan were restored today, she's still not letting me talk to Jordan. She denied me a video chat tonight. Insane. Insane. Vindictive is right. Mama, my battery's getting low.
Oh, do you want me to find you a charger, baby?
No, I'll get one. I think I have one here. Yeah.
Are you sure they're not on the patio with the...
I got one here.
Okay.
I got one right here.
I'm just waiting on the bread to be toasted right.
Sweet. Thank you,
I don't
Mama.
want to get the pot roast in the bowl until the bread comes out.
Let's see. Amy said, yeah, where is everyone all about the immigrant child who are trafficked completely ignored? It's interesting, like, the left is more concerned, I mean, like, Americans are more concerned with illegal immigrants' rights and family separation of illegals than they are American family separations and American citizen and Americans' rights. I mean, what do I have to do to get the support of the left here? Like, do I have to be an illegal or I don't understand. Like, we need to try to press charges on whoever made the call to CPS. Gloria, that's coming. That's coming. What it is like people can get agents of that. So let's say I hire a play therapist to work with my son, and in a vacuum, I'm paying this play therapist. I'm the one paying the play therapist. It's coming from me, right? And in a vacuum, without ever meeting my ex, the play therapist decides my ex is the problem. Because I'm paying her. And then the play therapist goes and talks to CPS. Now my ex has plausible deniability because what did she do? She weaponized her agent to go talk on her behalf, who never met me, who never talked to me. This is malpractice. This is psychological abuse of a minor. This is the destruction of a bond between a father and a son, all perpetrated by a therapist that's supposed to be in a position of trust. So she'll lose her license for that. And the mother will have to face those allegations herself. You know, she's going to have to go through what I went through and stand on the stand. They want to take my babies away. I'm going to fight like hell. These are my children. I love them. I adore them. Nothing matters more to me than them. Kelly, I know of CPS taking children from a good family that fostered 2 family children because they didn't want to pay for child. So this system is, the Title IV system, I've learned so much about it. Like, oftentimes they'll give the child to the party that can't afford to pay support, because they know the other party can always afford to pay support, and if they pay it through DCSC or the garnishment system, they get matching funds from federal government. So they want to get maximum amount of support for their mothers. And oftentimes they take away the rights of the fathers or whoever's earning more. And this is the way the system is built. It's a revenue center. There is a money motive here. The kids too, each one represents $3.3 million to this system. And that's why my life and my family's life is in danger. It's not just that I'm coming out against DSS. It's that there's entrenched interests here that are interested in trafficking children. It's a profitable business enterprise. Thanks, Truth Matters. I'll look at the link. I will. Real talk. Where are you located and what's going on? I'm in Virginia, USA, and what's going on is a breastfeeding baby was ripped away from its mother because of hearsay allegations against the father that were all defeated in court, but doesn't make it right, and a lot of families in America suffer still. And I'm going to fight for those families. Thanks, Gloria. Is that your... I'm sorry. I got to kick this person. I'm not going to repeat what they said. Some people are just really crude. Are you talking about like CPS issues? DSS, CPS, DFS, DCSC, all of the unholy acronyms they hide behind. Mama, do you want to sit here?
She fusses every single time. She's just overtired. She didn't really get much rest today. Baby,
I wanted to do one of these long lives. Oh, I caught the fly.
It?
Yeah, I caught him.
I can't see every single time.
I'm so fast at catching these things. But I wanted to do a live because, 3-minute shorts is not cutting it. I'm not getting the information that I need out there. And, I don't have as much control of it because it's a live, but you guys get a full discussion with me. You get a full readout with me, and I get to answer your questions. I just asked how many years you served in the Navy because there are claims that it was months. Was hoping you could dispute those claims. I served honorably in the Navy. I don't want to discuss the length of my service. I don't think that's material. I think that people want to call into question my service or my character or that's not relevant. It's not material. What's material is that I don't have a criminal history. What's material is that those children need their father. What's material is that I'm an American citizen. What's material is that I live in my hometown. What's material is that I'm a law-abiding American. I'm not trying to get stolen valor from anybody, and I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in issues that really matter to Americans. I serve my country honorably. That's what my DD 214 says. The system is totally broken. It is, Kelly. Gloria. Yes, I'm going to get it out 100. The government bots are out here in full force trying to defame me. The government bots out here, through the guise of, I'm just asking a question, are out here trying to spread rumors and false allegations to try and hurt my name. It's like, oh, we violated his rights, but he didn't serve more than 5 years. We violated his rights, but we heard he smokes marijuana. Give me a break. Yes, sir. Kelly, it's very sad, everyone. Yep. Please get it out, Gloria. We need our story out. HG Studio, that's not relevant. It's not relevant. Thanks, Real Talk. I think every American has a right to their family, not just the veterans who served honorably. Like, that to me is immaterial. What it does show is that even though I look different, I love America. I signed up to go and serve, which is exactly what happened. Because I believe in America. I love America. I love the Constitution. I love the freedoms that we enjoy. I believe that it can be reformed. But we have flaws too. And maybe CPS started out with a good intentions at one point. The intention was to save endangered kids that are in bad situations, that are in abuse and neglectful situations. But that's not what it is anymore. It's a tool to oppress the public. When you have real cases of abuse and neglect that are not investigated, but then real families that are healthy and functional being ripped apart and their kids trafficked into a profitable foster abuse system, you have to stop and ask yourself, why is this happening? And can it happen to you? Absolutely, yes, it can. Thanks, Real Talk. Where do you find lawyers? Rumpelstiltskin, it is hard, and I went through like 7 bad lawyers before I got to the one I have. I really believed that I wasn't going to get a good lawyer. I mean, like I had spent so much money on lawyers that I didn't think that there was a one that was going to represent me with integrity, one that was going to take my money and actually like give the value of my money back to me in representation. God blessed me with the representation I have. My lawyer is my hero. He's my champion. He goes to battle for me and he defends me with passion because he believes in me and he deserves everything that he gets because he's a wonderful man. Wonderful, God-fearing, straight-shooting, honest lawyer. That's all I have a world of respect for him. If you're looking for a lawyer in Washington, you're shit out of luck. When my ex wrote the parent plan, she wrote it in a way that I should have. You know, I had no idea when the women like I wanted to just have an amicable divorce. Like we don't have to fight. Let's make the focus the kids. They took advantage of me so bad, and I don't want to go into all that, but guys, before you sign a paper, you need to get real good representation and realize that time with your son matters. Time with your child matters. And you need to put everything you want in there in the beginning because they're not going to come back and change it amicably later. They might promise you a million things and lie to you and cajole you since they have been when they first met you. Like as men, we're suckers for our women. Like they bat an eye for us and we think maybe there's a chance that they'll come back to us. No, that child is all that matters. Forget about your ex. She no longer wants you. Just focus on the child if there is one. How long have you and your ex been separated? My ex and I divorced in 2019. In 2019. Mary Daniel, right? What's up with that? Just watched all your YouTube content. Thank you. And still found no context on what the allegations were against you. Still, you are very knowledgeable, and I think it's working, but tread carefully. The allegations against me. Okay, so people had in the past lied and said that this and that, and it's been defeated in court. So here's the thing, like if someone takes a PO against you and you get it dismissed, that the record of that PO remains. Right? If someone accuses you of something at CPS, they do the investigation, they find that it was unfounded, there was no allegations that mattered, that were real. Investigation doesn't really go away because that record remains. If anybody calls 911 from your house just to make a record for you, that record will remain. If anybody comes into contact with any kind of government entity about you, like if someone who doesn't like you, whether a bitter ex or a business partner, goes and talks to CPS or to a government agency about you, they can make a report. Just hearsay and defamation. But now you got to prove it. And maybe you can't. And that defamation can stick. And it can open up more investigations against you. And this is what happened to me, and it happens to a lot of men around the country, and they can't prove it, but I can. And I did. And that's the difference. We got our kids back. We proved the government wrong twice. With my ex, I've defeated 2 POs now from her. An assault charge that was null process for not just lack of evidence, but the officer withheld evidence and lied in his police report, was going to be discredited in open court. The CA null processed the case. She combined forces with my ex to consolidate POs, and I didn't have a lawyer at the time, and so she denied me access to my child for 8 months before I beat her. After I beat her in court, that night she said, "You were so sexy in court that I could have," right there. And she said it in a way that I don't want to get in trouble for saying it now. And I have the recordings of her saying that she loves certain body parts on my body and she wants me to come over and have relations with her. This is after we divorced. She had cheated on me, and I had beat her in court after a PO that she had conspired with my ex to get. And then she wanted to be with me again. And we got together for 3 weeks. And she's going around telling her new husband and the court that I made her sleep with me. I made her have those relations with me. And how did I make her? I threatened to take her to court, to family court, if she didn't. This is a very educated, like master degree, intelligent woman that's making up a lie this big, and her husband believes her. He believes that she slept with me because I threatened her with court. Can you guys believe this shit? Would you guys sleep with a guy who threatened to take you to court if you didn't? What? This is insane. And I have recordings of her saying that she wants to, she wants me to come over, and I don't want to talk about what she says on there, but it's really lewd and lascivious. She says she wants body parts of mine that I can't talk about here. I don't disagree, but you brought it up. I didn't bring it up, HG. You brought it up. And I'm done talking about it. What do you mean different? Look normal to me. Thank you, Mary. Heck yeah, I went through all of the sun. And my lawyer was taking things go his way. Yep, you need a good lawyer. I see my son 4 days a month. Oh, I'm so sorry. I see the same thing. So I get 2 days out of every 14. And my ex is trying to say that all of his emotional dysregulation is my fault. Well, she gets the preponderance of time with him. It's crazy to me that, like, my children from my first marriage haven't seen me in 4.5 years, but somehow I'm the root cause of all of their problems. Like a president has 4 years to turn a country around. But these kids can't heal and grow. These kids can't be resilient and strong and tough and think nothing's going to hold me down. Oh, my dad yelled at me when I was a kid, and I've never recovered. Where are we going with this? This is liberalism run amok. Like, really, this country can't survive this shit. Thank you. They do have all their resources at Abajo. Finally, I got to the end of the comments. All right, if you have been charged with something and have been proven innocent, it still remains public knowledge. Exactly, Esther. Exactly. You can be charged with whatever. Anybody can charge you with whatever. It has to be proven in court. There has to be a conviction for you to be a criminal. But these guys will treat you like a criminal just because there was an allegation. Oh, it's like, oh, we got 6 lies, Your Honor. We got 6 different people who have lied in the past, and it's been proven. It's been proven it's a lie. It was dismissed. There was nothing found. There was no findings of abuse or neglect or anything. But we have reports, Your Honor, and we have concerns, and we got to take his kids away, Your Honor. We got to take his kids away in case something happens to those kids. God forbid. God forbid, Your Honor, you don't take the kids away from him and he gets angry and they have a fight in front of those kids. God forbid, Your Honor. This shit can happen to you. My ex once left my kids and me for 7 weeks because of COVID, then tried to pick them up, and one of them wouldn't go to them. So he tried to have me prosecuted for interference with custody. I'm sorry, he sued me and it cost like $5,000, and my ex, he spent $10,000 trying to get sole custody after abandoning the kids. There's the kids that suffer the most in this type of thing. Like, that money belongs to those kids. Because 2 parents want to fight it out, all the money's going to family courts and lawyers. All of this money that I'm spending on lawyers and courts and that's Jordan's money. That's money that I could buy a house for Jordan, or I could, help him start a business. It breaks my heart. Hey, would you ask AI to recreate you as a cartoon character in a fight scene? It would be pretty awesome. I think so. No, I appreciate that. I am. No, it's cool. It's cool. And you know, that kind of levity is necessary. Like it's necessary to take a situation that's like this and kind of inject a little bit of lightness to it because it is so deep and dark and heavy. And it's really hard to deal with. It's like, hey man, like lighten up the mood a little bit. I appreciate it. And I think that I would make a badass AI cartoon character in a fight scene. I think that I would make a badass one, to be honest. Like, I think it's a good idea. Does anybody have any more questions before I go? I've been live for an hour and a half now. I think that's plenty of information and film for my ex and all of her attorneys and all of the lawyers that don't love me to try and cut up in different ways and make me look like the bad guy in court. I'm sure that. So my goal here is to log so many live hours that it costs these government and my ex's attorneys hundreds of thousands of dollars to go through all of these lives. That's what we're gonna do. I appreciate that. You did make me laugh, and you completely changed the mood. I'm very happy your baby is home. Thank you, MH. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Man, if I told you my problems, I doubt you'd trade, and I bet you feel the same. You know, that's exactly the kind of friend that I want. Like someone who's been through hell and is still able to keep a positive attitude and keep a light attitude like that. Like God bless you, for real. Always look on the bright side, for real. Man, life's a exactly. You know, my dad one time asked me. He said, son, what's life to you? What's life to you? And I'd suffered a lot at that point and gone through divorces. And I looked at my dad. I was like, life's a bowl of shit, and you got to plant flowers in it. you gotta. It's manure. Life's a bowl of manure, and you got to plant flowers in it. Life is a bowl of shit. They'll stay after you as long as they'll stay after me long after that. Once these government entities get their hooks in you, like they can never admit they're wrong. Like they honestly feel righteous. Like Kelly Hendricks believes she's right. Do you think she's coming after me so hard thinking she's wrong? She's convinced herself somehow that ripping a 1 month breastfeeding infant from its innocent mother is the right thing to do. And she's going to come and do it to you. Someone like her is going to come and believe that the best thing for your baby or your sister's baby or your brother's baby or your friend's baby is to be abducted and trafficked and to go with DSS into the halls of the government. It's crazy stuff. And then now go fight for them. Go try and get them back. Plant a freaking flower right at the top of that mound of shit. Exactly. That's the only way to do it. Oh my God, lady is scary. She looks incredibly depressed. You know, you guys have lifted up my spirits. I want to tell all of you guys I appreciate you, even the trolls. And you know, maybe that's going to be the. Maybe I'll have AI create a cartoon anime picture of me fighting, and I'll make that the symbol of my fight against CPS, and DSS and tyranny, government overreach, fighting against these guys are fighting against the American family. I'm fighting for the American family. Believe me, like that's my goal now. My goal is to fight for your family. Tracy, aka Lady Outlaw, we're behind you, and 5 days was long. Feels so bad, Mama, but I'm glad you're standing strong. Tracy, you are a blessing. You are an angel from heaven, and you have a heart of gold. And thank you so much for your kind words. I'm going to make sure Emily knows what you said. You're a sweetheart. And she lives off of that stuff. I always read her this stuff. Like when I have you folks like say prayers for her, when I have you folks like say nice things about her, I make sure she hears it. I do. Because she needs to. She needs to know that you guys support her. And she's not a super public person. Like, I believe I need to educate the public. I believe I have a responsibility and duty to come out here and let you guys know what's going on. Because the media is not. The media is not. Like, what I've found is that the media is too scared and is not courageous enough to pick up these stories because they don't know what's going on until it's all adjudicated. So until the dust has settled on the story and it's no longer news anymore, they don't cover it. Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, uh, Carl Higbie, even though he called me, didn't invite me on. I mean, he invited me on his show and then nobody ever called me back. Like, these guys are kind of scared a little bit that maybe what they're saying, these allegations against me, are true. And they have to wait until the dust settles before they know for 100% fact whether or not this is government overreach. And then by the time they come to find out that, yes, it was tyranny and government overreach, guess what? It's not news anymore. It happened like a year ago. This is happening all over, and the only way you guys are going to get your news is to keep searching for it online. Keep searching for it through independent media. Keep going on X, keep going on YouTube, keep watching where you're watching. That's what I've gathered from my 5 minutes here. Only half listening, mainly self-projecting. I appreciate your company and your presence here, Liam. It's really been positive. I appreciate it. Esther Grace, I believe you, my friend. Stand with you. God bless you, Esther. You have the touch of Jesus on your shoulder. I know that. I appreciate you, Dorina. Liam, you don't have to want one duty there, real happiness. One duty, their happiness. And if you don't believe their happiness is reality, then it's your duty let her feel real happiness, not North Korean happiness. Hey, I love you guys. I've been on for like an hour and 42 minutes now. And I want you to know how much I appreciate your support and just sharing our story. Please shine a light on this story. I did not want to live the public life, and I know that I'm not a celebrity. But I believe Americans have a right to know. They have a right to know the truth and arm themselves and educate themselves for when that doorbell rings and someone's coming to take your children away. God willing, everything works out best. Thank you, Amber. And I thank everybody for following us. And I'm going to wish everybody a wonderful night. Please follow. Please stay with us. Please share our story. We're going to stay in the light. We're not going to hide. We're going to keep it 100 and in the light so you guys can see how everything turns out. And I do intend to bring that legal reckoning to CPS and DSS to reform and recalibrate that organization nationwide. I've heard too many stories of people being taken advantage of, being destroyed, and I'm not going to rest at this point. I mean, God loved them for trying to do something good, but what they're doing is ripping American families apart. Whether they know it or not, whether they're intentionally doing it or not, they are ripping American families apart, trafficking their children into foster hell, a very profitable foster hell. God bless everybody. Good night, and hold your families tight.